If you're still struggling to find a strategy that works, in this video we're going to talk about why zones work. If you're new to this channel, I help struggling traders find a simple method for scalping the market. Let's get into this right now. Here's the video that's going to change the way you look at everything. So right now we're on GBP USD. You can look at any other chart the same way. If you're scalping like I am, some pairs you may not want to use, and if you do, you're going to have to give it a wider stop loss. Now, when you're looking at this, well, how do you know where to get in and where to get out? Well, there's a simple way to do this. And this is what this channel is all about, is making things easier for you guys. So what do you see now? So what we do is we mark off areas, our key areas where we expect price to change. Now, why do these trading zones work? Well, we can tell from looking back at past data. So when you're looking at the chart, you can see that these areas have worked in the past, so you know that they work. And all you need now is to practice this. So when you're looking at this, you can see that we had our area marked off, this area of demand, price left, reaching an area of supply, coming back down into the area of demand. Again, price coming up into another area of interest here. So came in, changed direction. Now, just knowing this alone doesn't mean that you should take the trade, because price can move through it. So how do you improve your win rate? So these trading zones work a little more for you. What we do is we take an entry on a lower time frame, because on this one we're on the 15-minute chart, and we take entry on the 1-minute chart. And the way to help you on this is you look for a specific pattern. So when price comes into the area, at that point you would have had an alert set somewhere before it comes into the area, and then you would have dropped down to the 1 minute and you would have been looking for an entry pattern. And on this channel I talk about signs of an exhaustion. Like usually you'll see some kind of push into the area, and then the price will stall out. And after that, normally what you would want to see is an engulfing pattern. And if you see that, that is a good entry pattern to get into. Now, I've shown patterns on some of my other videos. There's no perfect pattern. When you start looking through these and analyzing this, marking your supply and demand areas through the chart, you can see that the candle pattern is going to be a little different here, and it's going to be a little different down here. And it's not always going to be perfect. And you can see here how it came in and bounced back and forth quite a bit. So you might have been taken out of the trade. And when these type of things happen, you're going to get discouraged. You might take on a couple losses from something like this, and then you may close the chart off for the rest of the day. And because you were so discouraged, you missed out on any other opportunities that could have happened that day. And you see a little while later it comes up here, and that might have been a perfect pattern in there on the 1 minute, and you could have made everything back that you lost on this plus some. So it's important to take all the trade setups when they do come available. And as you go through here, you can see we've got another area marked off, comes back down into it, comes into it a second time. And this keeps happening over and over again. Now, I'm only watching 2 pairs right now, and I can tell you I have trading opportunities every single day. That's with just marking my areas on the 15-minute chart and taking entry on the 1 minute. And it's not uncommon for me to have 3 or 4 losses in a row and then make it up on another trade or 2. So you can see that price came up, and if we looked back, we could probably see that it tapped into an area of supply up there before coming down. And what we have marked over here, when we're looking at this was just a voided area that I have marked off and I talk about in the channel as well. Price comes up, pushes away. Now this was an area of supply, and we could see here that price went right through it. So you would have lost this trade. And this is what you have to be prepared for. They're not always going to work out. But you could see that this zone actually was touched, came in. So you might have actually been marking this area as an area of supply, but it didn't come right into that. It actually came into the void itself, touched it slightly, and then left the area. Price pushes down, creates another area of supply. But price hasn't come back up to that. Now we can see keeps going down. There we go again. Price comes into it. Pushes away. Another area. And you can see we just keep repeating this over and over again. And what makes this so powerful is because you're using another time frame to add to this as well. Because when you combine the 2 of them, now you have a reason for getting in on the trade. Because if you were just on the 1 minute time frame, taking a chart, taking a specific pattern that comes in, and you keep losing and losing over and over again, you don't really know what you're doing wrong at that point. Now, when you target specific areas, like I said, you're marking off supply and demand areas, you're marking voided areas, and when price comes into these areas and it works or it doesn't work, based on the candle pattern you're taking when it comes into that area, you can record this data and find out what's working for you and what isn't. But you're going to find that this works well. And how do we know this works well? Because like I said at the beginning of the video, is we can tell because we can see it on the chart. We can look back and see how prices reacted before. We know that when price comes into these areas, the price often changes direction. Now, it's a little more challenging when you're scalping the market because your stop loss is a little tighter, so precision is required when doing this. So you want to know what type of patterns you're looking for when you get into something like this. So as you can see, this happens over and over again. And when I'm showing you this, I make this look easy. And when you're drawing it up like this, it is fairly easy. But it's a different thing when you're actually trading it. And the more that you do this, you're going to start ironing out all the issues you're going to face when trading. Because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to take trades when you shouldn't take them. And there's going to be a bunch of other reasons that are going to get in your way. So watch these videos. Practice. This can be done on any pair, but preferably You want to choose pairs that have a low spread if you're planning to scalp the market. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. I love seeing comments. I have to tell you that this was a game changer for me. And I'm sure it's going to do the same for you if you give it time. Don't get discouraged. Don't bounce around to other trading strategies. This is the one that you need. If you start practicing this, you will get better at it. I have no problem answering any questions that you have. And until next time, bye for now.